Hey there, Goa fans. This is Mark DJ Solitaire here with episode 136 of Retro Goa Explorations, my weekly series in which I share in each episode one of my favorite tracks from the 1990s Goa Trance psychedelic dance movement. And we are still exploring the 97, 98 season, so autumn of 97 through to the summer of 98. An incredibly rich time, just phenomenal music, absolutely jaw-dropping stuff, a really exciting and pivotal time in the scene as things were changing in some ways for the better, in some ways not. And but musically, of course, there was always some great stuff happening. And this one today is one that I remember really well from back then, and also which I've just continued to play because it's an absolute masterpiece. Now, this is one of those ones where I'm not sure that I actually have the physical CD. I mean, I can't find it right now. I might have gotten it. I might not. It might be one where, quite often I would just copy a few tracks onto DAT, listen to, what it is that I liked. But this is one that I liked for sure, and one that I played a lot and still do when I get a chance to play a middle of the night retro set, because this is the epitome of deep, dark, broody, mysterious, big, dramatic, cosmic, orchestral, space opera kind of magic. It is a collaboration between Graham Wood of the Infinity Project and his solo project Excess Head, and Xavier Morel, who was also in Juno Reactor and a number of other projects. So it is a collaboration called Byte One, byte as in megabyte, gigabyte, all of that sort of stuff. And it was released on a Flying Rhino on their second flight compilation. It was called Turbulence. And it came out in, I believe it was June 1998. And it's not that I remember from back then, because my memory for some things back then is actually not as sharp as it was at other times. But I just looked it up on Discogs. So it's sometime around then, June, July 98. So that summer, that is when, and around that month, is when there was this unbelievable party that Equinox did called the Strong Sun Moon Festival, which was a real jaw dropper and just a massive scale. I still remember, that's the one where Tsuyoshi played, Pacemaker. And my friend David and I, we just heard the opening notes and we could tell from the energy that it was Tsuyoshi who was playing, even though it wasn't his music. Juno Reactor played a sort of a dawn set that I remember being up on the hill for a chunk of, and it was just magic. And Xavier was part of Juno Reactor then. He was active in Bible of Dreams. He's been, into electronic music since he was 9 and first came across Kraftwerk. And Graham, of course, we know from the Infinity Project. And he, you listen to the Infinity Project and you listen to Graham's, when he does his dark, broody stuff as well as this uplifting stuff, and you can really hear what he was doing in those collaborative tracks. And this is magic. And you get these two minds together in this jaw-dropping production, and you've got some mega power. And this has all kinds of stuff in it. I mean, it's again that, as I said, that middle of the night, the darkest of the dark, but it's not empty, it's not pointless. For me, the music unfortunately started, in my opinion, it really started around this time and later. The darkness was kind of something that you could not quite get out of. It really wasn't, there wasn't an equilibrium. There wasn't a real sense of direction. The storyline here and the musical content with, everything that's going on harmonically really gives a sense of focus and drive. So it really helps you to excavate and dig deep and express the depth of emotion that we've all got inside of us, and to get that out. And it's really phenomenal. There's some real almost like thrash metal kind of vibes at a couple of points. The whole storyline and structure is absolutely incredible, as we will be exploring when we listen to this. So all I know about this is that it was made at Graham's studio and that it came out in 98. So who knows when it was done, because sometimes things were sitting around for a little bit. So yeah, it might have been 97, might have been 98, and then it was just quickly came out. But whatever the case may be, it is a corker, which is a technical British term for a really good one. And we're going to give this a listen now. So here we go. The masterpiece, by the way, the project and the track were both called Byte 1. So there we go. So here we go. We've got Byte 1, wonderful track by Graham Wood and Xavier Morel. So very cool, evocative, sample here. So we got some sort of like, more Eastern tribal sample. Now the electronics start coming in. Sort of noises from the darkness, voices. I love the offbeat there. And then power. And then, not yet. There we go. Still throws me off. So again, we get these incredible riffs that sound like deep, dark voices. Everything here sounds like a voice. Notice all of these, again, these voices that are just, echoing and fading and fading into the darkness. The anguish and the angst that's in that melting riff. Just a very simple rhythm. Really effective. So right now, there's just got this hypnotic loop thing going on. And then it's going to start to evolve. So it's really like all these different voices, like those cries that are echoing. Then we're going to have some more voices start to show up. Very creative breaks, right? So it's never the sense of just creating a break, because of a preset structure. Like it really is a logical flow and a logical transition. And the sort of almost militaristic rhythm of that bass. Cool percussion came in just there. And stay tuned for a great new development. Notice the call and answer. So again, another alien voice saying something. And then the chorus behind. So it's like you've been waiting for this message to come out. Love the percussion now. Again, just that simple repetition takes on that mantra-like sort of hypnotic effect. So now again, that more militaristic rhythm sort of starts to take root. Then this riff as well comes back as that other voice just sort of faded back into oblivion. What the? And then just this anguished cry, and then this. Notice what that riff does here. Again, voice-like, right? I mean, this is beyond any instrumentation. This is all just patterns that are communicating. Extra effect over there. That pattern in the background. So I'm just getting hypnotized by all of this. And how many different patterns are happening simultaneous? This sort of insistent. Starting to get again a little bit more of that grunge. Everything going off at once. So it just starts fading away. I mean, for real, what was that? I mean, that is just absolutely next level. The power and depth. This is just something that's really lacking. We often get loud, can get dark, you can get big, but this has the depth. Like it's got soul. I mean, and there's these anguished cries and this depth and this power and this just direction. And there's also beauty with it. Those riffs are beautiful. And the instrumentation, how it is that their voice, how that whole storyline builds up with the introduction of new voices. And then finally, it just leads into that massive anguished cry from the center of the universe. I mean, it's just huge. What's amazing for me is that, of course, this hadn't been prepared and wasn't played that time. I still refer back to that autumn equinox party that Cooney played all night, and that was really my first experience of having that kind of, full range, I think, of music going with the light. and having that, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. kind of really tribal, dark, vibe. This track wasn't around then, but I absolutely have in mind that this is that flavor for that kind of, deep, dark, in the forest, in nature, getting it out kind of thing. It's absolutely incredible. Now, this, of course, fantastic in a club too at the right time. And I think this is, again, something that I'm missing somewhat is, the programming and having really the right sounds and the right flow of sounds, not just having one style only at specific times. But, there's that darkest of the dark of night time when something like this is, I think, absolutely essential. And of course, I think this quality of music is absolutely essential, and we just don't get enough of it. So these two master musicians in this just utterly glorious piece. This was absolutely my favorite track from that compilation. And I need to go back and revisit all the other ones, but this immediately stood out. And no wonder. So I am going to sign off here and then let you listen to the whole track without any commentary, and you can really sort of get into the depths of the music and your whole inner being, because this is a great way to get in there. So I'm Mark DJ Solitaire, wrapping up episode 136 of Retro Goa Explorations and leaving you now with the masterpiece collaboration of Graham Wood and Xavier Morel, Byte 1.